Okay, guys, and welcome to the real show. It's review time. A couple of things first. This is being timed so that I can fit it into the YouTube time frame now. So it may end relatively abruptly. So hopefully it'll be one part, but hopefully it might go into two, but hopefully one part. So I am going to be reviewing a movie that I actually watched last night, and I've got so much to say about it. It is Black Swan. Now, of course, everyone knows the fact that Natalie Portman won, I believe it was Best Actress. Yeah, Best Actress for her role in this, and it is massively, massively well deserved. The story of it, I will go into a basic overview. The story of it is Natalie Portman plays Nina, a ballet dancer, who is desperate to be cast in this studio's new reinterpretation of Swan Lake, and she is desperate to be cast as the Swan Queen. She's easily the best dancer there, but the casting guy, the director, don't feel that she can pull off the split personality of the Black Swan. She's perfect for the White Swan. She's kind of innocent and kind of fragile, but they don't believe that she can play the intensity and the seductiveness of the Black Swan. So it kind of starts progressing through the movie of her starting to lose her grip and starting to get more into the mindset of the Black Swan, and then kind of paranoia sets in. She starts seeing things that are clearly not so much her trying to take on the role of the Black Swan, but the Black Swan trying to take on her, and it kind of culminates in this just epic finale, really. It also stars Vincent Cassel as the director and Mila Kunis as Lily, who is a rival dancer who kind of appears from nowhere, really. And Nina starts to think that she's trying to sabotage her in some way so that she can play the role. And it's such a well-made film by Darren Aronofsky, who many of you will know from either directing The Wrestler, or I think he did Requiem for a Dream as well. He never does kind of straightforward pieces, and initially this looks like a drama, really. But what it actually winds up moulding into is an incredibly effective psychological thriller that at times also moves into the psycho horror realm. There are moments where there are definite influences from kind of directors such as Dario Argento, and the fact that they can make a movie like this and really hone in on qualities like that is what makes Darren Aronofsky such an incredible director. Natalie Portman's performance is one of the most phenomenal performances I think I've actually ever seen put down on film, which is saying a lot considering that she has come from being, Princess in Star Wars to this just phenomenal, emotional, kind of mind-numbingly good performance. Mila Kunis, again, is who many of you will know as Meg from Family Guy, which is kind of a bit surreal, but she also is fantastic in it. The thing that really struck a chord with me with this is the fact that the way it's played out, there are moments where you don't know what fantasy is and you don't know what reality is. And even by the very end, you're still questioning whether what you have seen in the finale is actually something that has really happened, or whether this is still her mind being kind of overrun by the Black Swan. One of the things that I was really impressed with actually was the fact that as her progression kind of goes along and she starts morphing more into this character, subtle changes like the colour of her clothes start to change. In the very beginning, she's wearing very white clothes and very pale pink clothes and very innocent clothes, and as it starts moving along, she starts wearing darker colours. They're not drastically darker colours. There are moments where she does start wearing black, but some of the colours just kind of start creeping into a much darker area, which is partly showing where the film's going and partly showing where her mindset is at that moment, which I thought was a fantastic way of showing it. And there are just moments of it where it's a true kind of moment of just thinking, I don't know what's going on, but I know I'm enjoying what I'm watching. It's certainly a film that is going to be one that has to be watched over and over again to finally maybe work out the true meaning. And I've got to watch the documentary to see whether there's any other insight into that. But the thing that I thought about was there wasn't one character there in the film that wasn't relevant, from her overbearing mother, which you can tell has a hand on what she eventually winds up becoming. The dancer that is retiring, that is jealous of Nina being the new star. Again, Mila Kunis's character Lily, and the role she plays on the transformation, and the fact that Nina's mind are starting to create alternate versions of the characters, really. There's one moment that really kind of sticks really well, and it's a moment in the movie where Nina has finally kind of lost her rag with her mum. She's fed up of how controlling she's being, so she goes out for some drinks with Lily. They in turn start kind of picking up guys, and kind of Lily's trying to persuade Nina to take this drug that will just kind of make her relax for a few hours, and eventually winds up spiking her. And all of that kind of runs along perfectly until they get back to Nina's home, where after a confrontation with Nina's mother, they go into Nina's bedroom and spend the night together. She wakes up the next morning and kind of obviously Lily's gone. She's overslept on the day of the performance, and she kind of gets there and confronts her as to why she hadn't woken her up, and she kind of says, I didn't spend the night with you. You know, you left me at the club. And that really starts working well, because then she starts seeing her as kind of like a saboteur, and really starts seeing her as someone that is trying to get hold of the role when that's not actually the case. But it's just it's one of those things where it's really hard to review it without giving elements away. I mean, I think I might have given part of it away in the bit I've just described, but that's just one area that's it's a small fragment of a massive story, and the amount they can cram into an hour and 45 minutes is just incredible. You know, it's one that I really recommend everyone checking out, because I mean I'm not into ballet at all. I think it's kind of dull and boring, but the way they shoot the ballet sequences at the very end really just start showing the Swan finally taking over and just Nina almost surrendering to its influences. And the shock ending of it, I mean, it's one of those ones where I'm still trying to work out whether that is a real ending or whether it's something that maybe was in a fantasy. I mean, for all I know, the entire film is a fantasy, because it is that well directed. It's certainly one that not everyone's going to enjoy. If you're someone that doesn't... It's going to sound stupid now, but if you're someone that doesn't really like thinking about movies and like reading into messages that directors put into movies, then this isn't going to be one for you, because you really have to think about it, and it's not one where you can just sit back and turn your mind off. It's one that you've got to be switched on for the entire time of the movie. So that's the review of this. Really check it out. While I've actually got some time left, I'll just talk quickly about the Blu-ray. Transfer is stunning. This is such a nice movie to watch on Blu-ray. In the update, which I would imagine I'll upload quickly before I do this one, is there are more special features on here than I did mention. There's kind of looks at the actors, at the kind of different elements of the movie, and then there is a long making of documentary. But this is one that I definitely recommend everyone checking out at some point. Like I said, might not be for everyone, but for the vast majority, I would imagine you will just eat this up because it's such a well-made, well-crafted movie. So, unbelievably, I've got this under 15 minutes for something that's so complex to review. Although, knowing my luck, I've probably not reviewed it brilliantly, and I'll probably wind up watching it back and thinking, God, what are you on about? But that's it for this one. Next review that I'm going to be shooting directly after this one is I'm going to be talking about, not the entire series, but the pilot episode of The Walking Dead, because I really feel that this needs talking about. I haven't watched the entire series yet. I've only actually watched the pilot, but I've really got some things to say on it. And then a couple of updates in a bit. So I will see you guys later.